Director of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Sam Raimi, has confirmed that his cut of the film, before they started cutting it up to get the final version of the film that we saw in theaters, was in fact going to have a runtime of 2 hours and 40 minutes. Okay, so 2 hours and 40 minutes. Now, I know what everybody's thinking, especially the people that don't like Doctor Strange 2. They're thinking, oh my god, this could have made the film better. A longer runtime means the film would automatically be better. Now, let me just stop you there. Weren't people saying that a simplified, shorter runtime would have done a lot more favors for Eternals because you wouldn't be as bored? Again, I can play devil's advocate here, right? Like, that's the thing. Again, Sam Raimi confirming, yes, we had a much longer cut, which I talked about before, saying that they cut out some pretty major elements, all things considered. But ultimately, when they started to see the final cut, his cut, 2 hours and 40 minutes, that they figured they could trim more off of it and make it a faster-paced film, something that doesn't necessarily feel like you're gonna be bored during some sequences. Again, we don't know what was cut. I know people are just imagining it's 40 minutes worth of every cameo that every scooper said was going to happen. Like, I looked at some of the replies to some of these interviews and posts, and people are like, oh, of course, they cut out all the great stuff. And I'm like, well, what did they cut? It's like, okay, they cut 5 Wolverines, 4 X-23s, 3 Colossuses, 2 Deadpools, and a Tobey Maguire in a pear tree, apparently, right? Like, we don't know that. We don't know. For all we know, the cut 35, 36 minutes or whatever that they cut from the film could have literally been something that every single person would hate. Like, for all we know, it was like 20 minutes of the film in the beginning with Doctor Strange dealing with the fallout of what happens in Spider-Man, and he's just like, oh man, I messed up that spell, oh man, and it's just like prolonged, and it's just him like grabbing coffee in like some street in New York or something, right? Again, people automatically, when they hear, oh, they cut 30x minutes, they think they cut out the 30 greatest minutes of cinema ever. And isn't it possible that maybe they cut out 30 minutes that didn't necessarily work? Like, that's a very real possibility. I want to bring up the Snyder Cut. There's plenty of pieces in there that honestly are just padding. Even though I love the Snyder Cut, I think it's great. It's way better than a theatrical cut. I'm not saying they should have cut the Snyder Cut down to 2 hours or under it. I'm just saying that even his cut of the film, you could shave off another 45 minutes easily, and it would be way better instead of them just kind of standing around looking or walking saddily, right? So we don't know. Again, I would love to see whatever his cut of the film was, but I'm just going to trust in the process and the final cut that they put together being the cut that he was comfortable with, and that they were like, you know what, this is ultimately the film we wanted to make, and here it is, enjoy it. And I think majority of the people do. Now, if I find out that a majority of the stuff that was cut was Inhuman-based, well, I guess I'm going to be at the forefront of the toxic demands to restore the Raimi cut. No, I'm not. I have a functioning brain, and I'm good. I'm not gonna hate on them. Now, I will continue to hate on Jeff Loeb, though, for ruining the Inhumans. That's never going away.